Good morning, students. So welcome to this English class, and today we are going to discuss the chapter Albert Einstein at School by Patrick Pringle. Children, Albert Einstein is a well-known person, and he is a Nobel laureate also, means he has been awarded Nobel Prize. Children, this chapter focuses on the life and achievement of Albert Einstein, how he did pass his childhood and what complications were there in his life which he solved, and thereby he came up as a famous scientist. So the author of this chapter is Patrick Pringle, and let's discuss about Patrick Pringle in detail first. So Patrick Pringle was born in 1935 in Rochester, New York. His first book was Dinosaurs and Their World. So children, the book Dinosaurs and Their World itself suggests that Pringle was interested in nature and environment. So his works provide information on nature and environment. So as I told you earlier, his first book Dinosaurs and Their World, so it suggests that he was more curious about nature, he was more curious about natural phenomena, and he wants that thing to be included in his writings, and that thing gets reflected in his work also. He is top writer, and he provides informational books for readers from elementary through high school. So Patrick Pringle writes informational books, and which run from elementary classes to the junior high school. Albert Einstein at School is an excerpt. Excerpt means has been taken from the book written by Patrick Pringle, The Young Einstein. So Patrick Pringle has written a book, that is The Young Einstein, and the Albert Einstein at School is an excerpt. Excerpt means just summary, or you can say something, main points of that book, which have been summarized over here in this chapter. So let me remind you again, Albert Einstein at School is an excerpt taken from the book The Young Einstein by Pringle. Now children, let's discuss about the theme of this chapter. So this chapter discusses about the modern ways of providing education, the contemporary ways of providing education. You know children, education is not just to cram and just to feed the brain some facts and information and recall them when required. Actually, that is not education, and Einstein believed on this fact only. He believed that education is not the way to cram the things. Education is to gain practical experience. Education is to gain practical knowledge. So this chapter discusses the childhood of Albert Einstein when he was at a German school, and once the history teacher asked Albert some dates related to history, and Albert questioned his teacher, "Sir, why to remember the dates?" Because that was the home assignment for all the students. But when asked by the teacher, Albert said, "Sir, why we have to learn the dates when they are given in the book itself? And when needed, we can check the book and get what we want. So why should we remember the dates?" The history teacher got angry, and that was the main point which resulted in expulsion of Einstein from the German school. Einstein consulted one of his friend who was a medical practitioner and asked him to fetch him a medical certificate so that he may give it to the school authorities, asking them for medical leave for some period of time, maybe 1 month, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years. So his friend said, actually it was a suggestion of the friend only, who said to Einstein that you don't run away from school, or you don't move out of school, you don't drop out of the school, but you just give the medical certificate, so that if you are not successful anywhere else, in fact Einstein wants to go to Italy, and he wanted to join the mathematics class, because you know very well Einstein was a mathematician. He wanted to join the mathematics class, and for that he was highly interested. Even in German school, history teacher was against Einstein, but maths teacher was highly, or you can say he was of high opinion. He had high opinion about Einstein. So Einstein wants to go to Italy to gain higher education of mathematics. But luckily, or say unluckily, when he reached school to give the medical certificate, before he could do anything, the school authorities expelled him from school, and he felt like as if the medical certificate is like burning in his pocket. So it was a mixed kind of feeling, what to do, and it was a certain kind of happiness also, and certain kind of you can say sorrow or shame for Einstein. But overall he was happy because he was getting what he desired. So actually this is the theme of the chapter, which I discussed in short. The detail we will study in the chapter, when we will study the chapter paragraph wise. So children, after the theme, let me discuss with you actually what is education. So children, education means to gain knowledge. So we can also take Einstein as an example, who has just moved out of that school to gain what he desired in life. He took a bold step, but children, one thing was sure, that he knew that he would be able to achieve what he desired. So education tells us what to do and what not to do in practical situations. It is not like that x square plus y square equal to 2xy, whatever it is. These formulas are not the real life. So Einstein believed that education should relate to real life situations, not just cramming the things. So he believed in contemporary education. So children, that's all in this part of the video about the chapter Albert Einstein at School. Rest explanation of the chapter will be continued in second part. Thank you.